Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Welcome to Rant and Chill. On this channel, I like to rant and I like to chill. Here we're going to be chilling, going to be talking about, well, actually going to be going back to something I've listened to before in the past. Going to talk about Megadeth, okay? Going to explore a band I was a fan of, still a fan of. If you like this sort of thing, make sure you press the like button, share, and subscribe. I did a video like this regarding Anthrax, the band Anthrax. So, let's do this. So let me know in the comments section where you were, how old you were, when you first got into Megadeth, and what was the album, and what was your experience, okay? For me, I stumbled upon Megadeth when I was visiting a friend back in high school. After school, I would often hang out with a friend that had all sorts of really cool music. As I do these videos, he's going to be referenced quite a bit. He's my gateway to like Danzig, to Judas Priest, to Iron Maiden, all sorts of good stuff. Anyway, it was through him that I was exposed to the tight and biting riff of Symphony of Destruction. And before this, I had already been an active listener of Metallica. I had the Black Album, Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, and my personal favorite, Kill 'Em All. To this day, Kill 'Em All is like one of my favorite Metallica albums. It's short, but it's brutal. There's not a bad song on that album. Okay, but little did I know that this song I was listening to, this Symphony of Destruction, was from a band that had an interesting and bittersweet connection with Metallica. And of course, at the time, I didn't really care. I mean, what you don't know about, you just don't know about, right? Ignorance is bliss in some ways, I suppose. I was more intrigued by the tone of the guitar. Like, first time listening to Symphony of Destruction, just that song alone, I noticed something very different. The tone was different. The tone of just the guitar alone was different. It reminded me of Metallica, kind of like, but Metallica. Well, Metallica has a thicker sound. I'm thinking of the Black Album at the time. It had a thicker sound, or I guess their version of their version of metal is loud, whereas for Megadeth it was. There was like a sharper tone to the guitar. I don't know really how to describe it other than that. Maybe someone who's a guitar freak or more knowledgeable about guitar could really break it down of what made that distortion different. But there was a sharper edge. I'll describe it like that. But furthermore, the track Symphony of Destruction had another very interesting sound, something different, something that you never heard of if you were listening to Metallica at the time, which was bass. I mean, I think I described it as a sort of metal characteristic, a metal clink to the song that just didn't know about. Of course, what I was describing was bass. That was just inclusion of bass right there, and it makes a world of difference. So not only did Megadeth have a sharper guitar tone, but the bass line gave it a heavier quality to it. It actually sounded like metal. Not that Metallica doesn't sound like metal. They do, but like whenever I listen to Megadeth, I want to hear that clingy kind of thick bass line. I want to hear that, man. I want to hear that. That's nice. It's a nice characteristic to it. I can't be the only one who recognizes that. But I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the sound. And once I got the name of the band, Megadeth, got the name of the album, and I spent the money I made mowing yards on that album, with Countdown to Extinction. And I don't have it anymore. There's a lot of stuff I don't have because, I was in a relationship before and everything. That's a long story. That's a side. I lost a lot of good stuff and a really dumb decision. But it was you know what? We're just gonna move on. But yeah, I got the album. And it was fantastic. It was a great album. I love every song in the freaking album. Countdown to Extinction is a great album. It's solid. It's actually, I think, the best performing album for Megadeth. I don't think that's changed. I think that's still accurate. Now, just correct me if I'm wrong there. But I really like that song. I really like that album. I love every song on it. Some more than others. And while some songs, there's a very specific part of the song that really gives it a really defining character. Like I'm thinking of Ashes in Your Mouth. Which, sure, like in the beginning, it's a very solid song. It's a solid song throughout. Okay, in the beginning, you have that really awesome riff that the play and stop, the stop and play sort of riff. To me, it's when the solos come in, and after Dave Mustaine says, what does he say? Welcome to tomorrow. When he says the line "Welcome to tomorrow," then the song it just takes it to a whole other level. It just, I don't know, like the backing riff and the solos combined. Oh man, it's a fantastic song. This metal goodness all the way through and through. And of course, back in high school, I had a portable CD player, and for context, it wasn't the good one. It didn't have skip protection. It was an early model. It read on the CD player, on the portable CD player, that it had skip protection, but I guess they didn't really check that. It didn't really test it out because you couldn't walk 2 or 3 steps without it messing up. So I guess you could just put whatever you want on the casing and no one really cares, right? But my point of telling you all that is to give you context of how long ago this was. And also, like, Megadeth was a regular band that I would listen to quite often on my CD player, okay? And it was good. I enjoyed it. But what I didn't really know, and what I was about to find out, was that this band was connected with Metallica. And it was by accident. It was a total accident when I found out. While listening, I believe I was listening to Kill 'Em All at the time. I was looking at the CD booklet, the little pamphlet thing. There's not much to it. There's like only like a couple pages. I think it had lyrics. It had a back part where there was a photo of like the band together, and then there's credits. And in the credits, it said Dave Mustaine, which was I knew who that was at the time. Obviously, being exposed to Megadeth, I read his name quite a bit. So I was like, oh wait, what? Like that revelation was big for me. I was like, wait, hold on. These bands are connected? How are they connected? What happened here? And this is before the internet was popular, okay? There was no Google. I think AIM was sort of a thing. Not kind of. It was starting. It was very rough. So I kind of spent my time asking friends at school, other metalheads, about it, and the lore I got was actually quite intriguing. Now you could just Google it and you can find the correct answer. You can just listen to interviews from James Hetfield and Dave Mustaine about what happened. But I think not having the fact checking thing was kind of nice though, because the stories I heard were kind of crazy. Like stories like, dude, I heard Metallica was kicked out for doing. Oh, not Metallica. I heard Dave Mustaine was kicked out for doing drugs too much. It's like, wait, you mean Metallica doesn't do drugs? No, dude, I heard Dave Mustaine was kicked out for drinking too much. But Metallica are alcoholics. What? No, dude, I already got handsy with Hetfield's girl. Okay. No, dude, I heard he was too much of an asshole. It's like, okay, whatever the reason, it didn't matter the reason. It was just that he was kicked out. It was kicked out. And it was at that point that I already liked Megadeth. I liked the band. I liked the sound of it. At that point, though, it got even better. Like, I saw them. I had a new perspective on the band, I should say. I viewed the band as a rival to Metallica, as a rival. In a way, they were, very much so. You can hear it in Dave Mustaine's in his writing and in the songs, and especially his early work, where you'd hear like the Four Horsemen Uh, you'd hear variations of that, and his songs would go faster. They would be thrashier. They would hit harder, and he had that bass there to kind of enforce it, to reinforce it, to give it more of a metal character to it. But as ambitious as Megadeth was and is, especially at the time, I should say, as ambitious and determined and with a heavy sound, but despite all that, there was still just the revival, the rival just caught in the shadow, in Metallica's shadow. I mean, I'm a fan of both bands, but I should say I was a fan of both bands. I mean, I used that word "was" on purpose there. While I still enjoy old Metallica, like old Metallica hits, like Sanitarium, Master Puppets, Ride the Lightning, Cthulhu. I mean, some of their load and reload songs kind of won me over too. Okay, I just don't look forward to the new releases like I do Megadeth. Like Megadeth, I know Megadeth had a period of time where they were trying to get away from thrash, but it didn't really work. It didn't work out for them at all. Well, as Metallica found success going kind of more mainstream, and I guess selling out. I remember those days when I was in high school. People hated Metallica. It's like load and reload. Oh, it's trash. It's garbage. But now people like it. The same cannot be said about Megadeth's. What is it? Risk? No, those songs did not age well. Those songs weren't good. Those songs were not good when they were released, and they're not good now. Okay, it was. I think nowadays, I mean, current time, right now, can't emphasize that anymore. Okay, any more than I already have. I look forward to a Megadeth song because I know he's returned to his thrash roots, and it's going to be hard and heavy. It might be so heavy that I might be like, whoa, let me re-listen to this again. Whoa, what's going on here? It's good. It's good stuff. I like it. Whereas Metallica, I'm like, well, anymore when I listen to one of their new songs, it's like, are you guys going to stick with a riff and find a groove here, or what are you doing? I might piss off some Metallica fans when I say that, but that's just like, I mean, I'll give their new album a chance, but lately it seems like their new albums have been, every song has been like hit and miss for me. All I'm saying is Megadeth goes harder and is more consistent on that. That's just my opinion there. But my point of doing all this is to kind of revisit Megadeth and how I was introduced to the band and what I find really intriguing by it, or about it, I should say. So it was a sound that I didn't hear from any other band, especially any other thrash band, not even Testament. Megadeth has a sound that's very unique to Megadeth. In fact, you could tell a Megadeth song just from the music alone. You don't even have to hear Dave Mustaine's voice, but once he starts singing, you know for sure that is a Megadeth song. Love it or hate it. I like it. I think it's great. But there is, at times though, there's some albums coming to mind where I'm like, Dave, like what are you doing with your voice, dude? That's kind of weird. But you know what? But usually in those songs, the rhythm is so good, like the rhythm guitar and what's going on in the background is so good. It doesn't even matter. You just ride with it. You just ride with it. It's fun. But yeah, anyway, Megadeth has a unique sound that sets them apart from other metal bands, especially other thrash metal bands, especially Metallica. I did find the history of Megadeth and Metallica to be interesting. Now I know what happened, by the way. Of course, I think we all kind of do in a way. But that's for you to find out on your own. I think trying to find those interviews and find that is part of the journey. So if you're interested, you could go do that. I'm going to bring it back to you guys. Assuming you guys are a fan of Megadeth, which is why you made it this far in this video, what was the album that got you into it? What was the album that got you into the band? And did your opinion change? Like, did you, like, if you got into it like I did and didn't know that there was a connection between the two bands, like did that change your perspective on it? Like, it's kind of cool in a way. Like, he was kicked out from a really good band and then started his own band that was also really good, you know? And I think it gave him attitude. It gave him a lot of aggression, and you can hear it in his music. But anyway, with that said, you let me know what you thought about this in the comment section, and you guys take it easy.